Welcome, fellow developers, to the only YouTube channel dedicated to learning the OutSystem platform. Hello, fellow OutSystems developer. In this video today, we are going to learn how to create CRUD, that is, create, read, update, and delete screens the easy way. Okay, and we are going to start by looking at an application that we built a while back. And we added database tables to, and we're going to take it from there. And we're going to try to build our really easy CRUD landing pages. And we are going to take a look here at where, let's see. We are going to grab the student, or students, there it is, students, the student database table there under the data table under the database tab. And we're going to drag it over to the create aggregates. And we're going to drop it there. And bingo, it has created a student page and a student detail page. And let's take a look and see what that's all about. We'll go to here to the student detail, students. Okay, let's go to students. Well, first let's compile it. Yeah, let me override it. This is really easy. It gets created for you in the background. There's not a whole lot you need to do, and it helps you get your application started really quickly. So we'll browse students, and I forgot to flag these as anonymous. That is why I get this this sign-on, log-on screen, which is really useless right now. So let's try that. Let's make them all anonymous, and we're going to compile again. Anyway, this doesn't always work out perfectly, but it does allow you to rapidly create some frameworks to work with. So let's go to students. Yeah, okay. See, notice the little house signature. That means that it is the main page, and you can either click on that and go to open browser. You can go at the bottom of the page and click open browser. Either way will work. And here we are. This is the student list. This is what's some of the stuff that is on the database table. And down there you have a footer with pagination and even a search area. And right there, and if, let's say we wanted to see everyone with the name Mary and the first name, it would search it for you, so you can see how much functionality has been done for you. And here, if we click on this and the student ID, it takes us to the student detail page, which is very nice. It saves us from having to do a whole lot of work. Basically, there you go. If you were to save this, you would have your page for your data. It would either be saved or created new, depending on whether or not it's a new or an existing data. So let's do it once more. I do want to show you this. The fact that we associated the states with this table, you can see it, even though we have the old free field of states, when we pointed the state ID into our table, you can see that now we also have a drop down that it builds for you automatically of all of the states. So let's see, I really don't like that right there. I don't like the ID number to show up. So I'm going to change that to a word like select or something like that. So we can go to the widget tree, to that particular link, and in that link I'm going to go to the expression, and for the value, I'm going to put a word. Select. Okay, let's put quotes around that, and there we go. Select. So you can see how it changed to select what used to be a number, and this is really the best way of going out to select your data. So let's see, if we click on open in browser, we should see select, and we do. And if we click on that, it takes us to the edit student, and it does. Okay, yeah, that worked out really well. Let's do a new one with states, only states. So we're going to grab that and put it over in the main flow directory, and boom. It has created two more pages for us, a states and a states detail. We're going to flag those anonymous, and we're going to compile. And we're going to open a browser, and here we go. Here we go. It does the same thing for us. Quite easy with a pagination at the bottom. This is really, super easy. Like I said, it's a quick way of putting something out there, and then you can go back in and edit it to make it look how you want it to look, or give it additional functionality. Now, just want to point out some stuff. There's no real magic in here. What it does for you is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. It gives you the unsort, which points to nope, that's not it. There we go. Unsort, it's associated with a little sorting widget right there, and on pagination navigation at the bottom, and it figures that out. I'm going to let you guys look into that later, or we're actually going to go at it later. For right now, let's just do the on search, or let's see. Now let's go over to the state details. That's really more interesting than anything else. The on search just takes whatever it's on that search field and does a search in the database. Okay, so how do we navigate? We navigate by selecting on that select button or link right there, and what we are doing is we are pointing it to the state detail web page or landing page, and we're passing the state ID, which is part of the data from the aggregate that displays on the grid. So as you can see, what we're passing is the current state ID, the state ID of the current aggregate list. See, state ID. Of course, what I got there wouldn't work. You just need to click on the last one, state ID. There you go. And that right there is what you are going to pass to tell the next landing page what to do, or what to search for. All right, done with this. Okay. Just want to make sure before I move on that I got the right data, current state. Yeah, no, that's all fine. Done. Out of there. Okay. So, let me just put it back to the way it was. There it is. There's the one. All right. So let's go to the state details page or landing page. And you'll notice that we're passing a state ID as a variable, and that state ID is a type of state identifier, which is getting it from an aggregate. And then we have another aggregate in this page that's going to do the search, and it's going to provide us with a record. And we're going to filter it by saying that the state ID of the aggregate needs to look like, needs to equal the state ID of the value that we're passing as a variable. And we can test that by putting 1 here, and we see that we get Alabama. And if we click on the 3 there, we see that we get the rest of the columns of the table. All right, good. So we know that, and all the magic is being done right here in the Saves Detail client action. First of all, you're going to see where it checks that the form is valid. We're not going to mess with that right now. We'll do that later. But we are going to cover the fact that it looks at a server action called state create or update. And that points to a server action in the logic tab, where we're going to pass the record of the aggregate into it. There's the logic, and there's the logic tab, and there is the action, and we are passing this function, and this function actually comes from the actual database entity, the database table entity, the creator update state, and that entity accepts a source record of a class state and gives you back an ID. So we are passing the record of the aggregate that we got in the client there. We're passing it there. That points to the server action. Right here, that's the record that we're passing. We're passing it to that. That points to the server action, and in that server action we pass that record to this function, and that's the function that does all the work for us. By the way, it's kind of funny because if you pass a record without an ID, it will create a new state, and if you pass one with an ID, then it'll update that state. So that's kind of neat. If you don't know what you're going to be passing, that's a very good way of handling. And let's see, we passed the ID, but really we don't use it in this application. And we finalize it by pointing it back to the state's landing page. That's it. That's all there is. That's all the magic. Easy peasy. It's all right there on the client action. Take the record, we pass it to the client action passes us to the server action passes us to the function of create or update, and that does all the work for us. And then all we have to do is decide where we're going to point or navigate the user after they save that record. I think we're done with this little tutorial. Please feel free to hit the thumbs up if this is of use to you, and click on the bell so that you'll know when a new video is posted, and put some comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again when we try to program again in Outsystems.